And I want to share with you, we've been on a topic entitled Fearless, and I want to continue down that road of talking about fearless. How many people know fear continually is to try to knock at our door, no matter how many times you come to church, no matter how many times you worship the Lord? It's human nature that there's this fear element, and in order to crush it, to really destroy it, there's a consistent daily dying to yourself. There's a consistent process that we have to do. You can't just, I'm good. I always have to get before the Lord. I always have to hear a word. I always have to be encouraged, because faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And so I need the word to help me continue in that process. And so I want to share with you 4 simple elements that I've learned from this text in John through what I believe is such a phenomenal season to which the believer is in. And so Jesus is making his triumphal entry into the city of Jerusalem, and it is a remarkable event. And in this, and out of all the Gospels, it's in all the synoptic Gospels, all 4 Gospels, but John is the only Gospel that mentions the palm branches that we now associate with Palm Sunday. And so in John, in the 12th chapter, in the 12th verse, it says, "The next day, a great multitude that had come to the feast, and when they heard that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, took branches of palm trees and went out to meet him, and they cried out, 'Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, the King of Israel.' Then Jesus, when he had found the young donkey, sat on it, as it was written, 'Fear not, daughter of Zion. Behold, your king is coming, sitting on a donkey's colt.' His disciples did not understand these things at first, but when Jesus was glorified, then they remembered these things which were written about him, and that they had done these things to him. Therefore, the people who were with him when he called Lazarus out of the tomb and raised him from the dead bore witness. For this reason, the people also met him, because they heard that he had done this sign. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, 'You see that you are accomplishing nothing. Look, the world has gone after him.'" This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be unto God. We're grateful to this word that directs us. And so this account here is one of the only accounts that we see these palms that we celebrate with on Palm Sunday being mentioned in this directive. Yes, we know they give allusion to them in other verses, but this specific, that why we celebrate with the palm branches and why we label this Palm Sunday. But the backdrop of this is really important, and it's shared in this text. This was immediately the next day after Lazarus has been raised from the dead. And it says here, it shares with you that there were witnesses there. There were people that seen what was going on. And I'm so grateful that, as we shared previously this month, that I'm grateful that Jesus did not let his fear control him or color his decision-making process. It's imperative because he could have thought about all those who wanted to be out to kill him, or the assignment of what he had to go through, and said, "You know what, I'm not going to ride in. I'm going to hide out because the task is too great." But we see this story where they seen him raised from the dead, and so the story went around. They did not go around by text message or cell phone. It was not a television. This was straight word of mouth. Everyone heard, this is the man that raised Lazarus from the dead. This is the man that did great things. This is the same man that fed 5,000. This is the same. They heard about his exploits, and they wanted to celebrate because they believed he was the Messiah. But doubt, we know, came in just a week later. It's a funny thing when you know something and then you let doubt come in. It's a funny thing when you know one thing and then all of a sudden, come on, I'm just going to talk to believers. You could believe God is who he is, and you can know all, and that you could be sitting among believers, and at the same time, fear and doubt and worry and anxiety is trying to knock at your door. It's funny because it doesn't take us long that we could be in the presence of God, yet a struggle is warring on the inside, because there's a spiritual side of us, but there's a flesh. And boy, that flesh, that thing is a monster. It's a monster because it is fed by your desires. fed by what you like, what you want. It's fed by your fears and how you've been raised and how you've gone through. And so this text finds us at a great place because it shares with us that there are 4 elements, if I could point out to you. One being people. People, praise, position, and purpose. And if I could throw in the middle there, peace. People, praise, peace, position, and purpose. Those are the 5 points I want to share with you from this particular passage. We've been learning that, and I want to go back to something old for those who weren't with us. Fear needs our permission to paralyze us. Y'all with us? And anything you pay too much attention to, you giving something permission to occupy you. This is important because it gets stronger by your attention to it. I want to point this out because Jesus never focused on what people said about him. He never concentrated on what they felt about him. He came to fulfill a purpose, and he had an assignment at hand. And so people were there cheering him on. Yeah, this is the one who brought Lazarus back. And if you focus, watch this, if you focus too much on people, they will mess you up. They'll cause you to forget what you were called to do. And the only reason people fail is broken focus. I'm so glad that Jesus did not lose his focus in the midst of his assignment. And he taught us that, people are going to be around you, but you cannot lose your focus. Too often we found ourselves, let me just talk for myself, looking at what other people have. Looking about other people's stuff. Y'all see somebody else with something and you find yourself looking at, why they get that? I deserve it too. I've been doing good stuff. I kind of talk to the people that you did good stuff and you haven't got your reward yet. And you're like, I've done good stuff. I'm waiting for my stuff too. And if you look at people, the enemy will use that as that distractive point. Because the enemy wants to distract you, and he'll bring someone in your life to break your attention off your purpose. And I'm so glad that Jesus did not look at the people throwing down the palm. He said, I am the king. And when even after you decide to turn on me, I'm going to still be who God called me to be. I'm talking to someone, you don't realize it. Let me bring back to your attention, because there are moments where you come to church. Where are my believers at? Are they in the house? All right. And we love God and we believe God and we trust God. But then all of a sudden you go out there and you forget because somebody says something. Somebody does something. Something happens. And then you act like or forget, wait a minute, I'm not sure if things are going to happen for me. I don't know if that person's if it's going to turn around. I don't know where the money going to come from. I don't know where the blessing's going to come from. But Jesus reminds us it does not matter the people. It matters who God is. The only thing that matters is that God is working for your good. The thing that matters is that God is shifting things. And so if we look into the story of this, at the same time that Jesus is riding in, on the west side, Pontius Pilate is riding in. And he got his boys with him. West side. He west side. On the west side. And he's coming in to remind the Jews and to remind them that I want you to know we still in control. And so Rome still got the upper hand. So Pontius Pilate is riding it, and he got the same thing. He got drummers drumming. They playing beats. They got the horses galloping, and they're walking in. And while Jesus is riding in on a donkey, there's another scene happening at the same time. And what's amazing about this is Pilate is trying to say, I got the power. And Jesus said, no. My God has the power, and I own all the power. All of your armies and all that you have, none of that matters, because I'm bringing a sword. I'm bringing the power with me. And then once I do what I'm doing, I'm going to exchange it and give it to everyone that follows me. Your enthusiasm's overwhelming me right now. I just said something better than y'all looking at me. So wait a minute. You understand? Because he doesn't pay attention to the people. He doesn't care that Pilate is riding in at the same time. All he knows is, I'm shifting something right now. And so he understands that even though they're praising him, Jesus understands that I'm expecting adversity. Let me say this for somebody. Because somebody, you've been through some stuff and people will praise you. Have you ever had people start giving you kudos all the while, talking about you behind your back? Nobody y'all don't know nothing about that, right? A few of y'all know? Where are the people that know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and they'll lift you up and they'll smile in your face all the while trying to take your place. Them backstabbers. And the pray, and they'll talk, they'll be smiling, and then they'll say something on social media. Oh, no, I wasn't even talking about you. Sound like you was talking about me. Sound like what we was going through. How come you? No, because if someone's praising you one moment, we got to be so careful not to expect that the enemy's lying at the door. Jesus knew that even though they were laying down palm branches, even though they were praising him, he wasn't not just sitting by saying, oh, this is all I'm going to get. I'm going to get this continued praise element. He knew adversity is around the corner. Can I please warn the believer? Because we are so fickle at times. We don't expect nothing bad to happen because we go to church. That's not how this works. Please, that's not how any of this works. It's not, and let me say this because you'll graduate and you'll go on and you'll get to your next season and people will praise you for that moment, but don't think that the devil is excited about how you're serving God. Don't think that the devil is not thinking for a way or someone they could bring in your life that will cause you all the stress that you need to break and to stop lifting your hands. I wish I could get believers to understand this because for some reason we think we get fooled to think that just because we get the praise and we feel these kudos that all of a sudden nothing should go wrong. No, your ability to serve God and what he's teaching us in this moment, it doesn't matter the circumstance. It doesn't matter what's going on. If you would dwell in and continue to lift me high up over your circumstance, I'll take you through it. There's nothing like when you're going through the worst situation in the world. Can I talk to where my praise and worshipers at? And you go through the worst situation in the world, and you know you're feeling weighty. Y'all know what I'm talking about? It feel like every circumstance is at your door and it's knocking on your brain. And then you start worshiping and giving God glory. You got that one song. How many people got that one song? That one song. And then while you're going through it, you're like this, nah. Okay. This is, and you have to set these atmosphere moments up where you change your environment for a moment because that's what Jesus was doing. He was setting up an environment for his circumstance. You ain't hearing me. He was setting up the circumstance because he knew what he had to go through next week. He knew what he had to go through. And he understood that their praise was just a beginning process of what he had to get through. You got to understand, they're crying out, Hosanna, blessed in the name of the Lord. They're prophesying. They're prophesying, yet not believing. Ooh, hold on. Because we can operate in a prophetic moment, yet not real, like, I don't know. Come on. You've been in a place where one moment it's all high, and the next thing you know, God, are you with me? I'm not sure. It turns so fast because the devil is looking for opportunity to crush you, looking for a moment where he could discourage you. And I promise you, he will always use someone close enough to you, to your heart. He ain't using no stranger. Stranger, you'd be like, if it was a stranger, you could, the Bible said, if it was a stranger, I would have been all right. But because it's someone so close to me. Because, he's teaching us in the text, in the context of the text, is that I came to bring peace. He's riding in peaceful after, watch this, after all the times they tried to get him. Y'all don't remember. Let's go back in the Bible. There were several times he healed someone. They was like, oh, what you do? Guy said, pick up your bed and walk. He goes to the guy, guy's like this. Who told you to pick up that bed? The one who healed me. Take that up with him. The guy was walking in peace. He said, go talk to the guy who healed me. They said, we got to get this guy. He telling people that they could carry the mat on the Sabbath, breaking religious, all sorts of things. He escapes. He healed them though, but watch this. It goes on. He heals Jairus' daughter. He said, tell nobody. He kept telling them, tell nobody, tell nobody, don't tell nobody. And you're saying to yourself, Jesus, why not let somebody tell? Because Jesus said, look, it was not my time. When it's my time, I'm going to bring peace no matter what your circumstance is. Y'all ain't hear me. He understood that when his time comes, he said, when the bridegroom leaves, that's when you fast. When the bridegroom leaves, that's when peace will be with you. I'll leave a comforter. Oh, I'm talking to somebody. He said, I'll give you the Holy Spirit, that when I leave, I'll put something in place. Jesus said, I'm coming in and I'm bringing peace. The word, I like the word, is shalom. Yeah, come on, say it. Yeah, we got to get back. We got to say that because our Jewish brothers, they got that word, but that word is so powerful because we don't like to say peace no more. We feel like we hippies or something, like peace. We don't want to say that, but we got to go back to that word. Peace. The declaration of peace is peace be unto you. It's not meaning I hope that you get some peace or I hope that you don't have no trouble. No, it's really the highest level of a declaration to someone. Because it says, I'm declaring peace on you, not absence of trouble, not absence of circumstance. I'm saying there's a peace on the inside that the world didn't give and the world can't take away. So his writing in makes this declaration in the midst of great trials. There's a biblical peace that Jesus wants to instill to you. This peace I leave with you, he says in John 14:27, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives it. Let not your heart be troubled, nor let it be fearful or afraid. The peace Jesus is speaking about enables the believer. Watch this. He's riding in on a donkey while everybody wants to kill him. No, the Pharisees wanted his head. They wanted this dude. They wanted to kill. He's riding in. Slow, chilling. And he got that riding. And there's a peace because, and watch this, and he wants us to understand that same peace he gives to us. That means there's no circumstance, no situation that comes to you that you don't have the ability to get through. Woo. Too many times we've left our peace at somebody else's doorstep. We've left our shalom in a moment where really what happens, we surrender it. Can you just encourage your neighbor, stop surrendering your shalom? Yeah, stop, turn the other one, turn to someone else. Stop surrendering your shalom. Yeah, the Bible gives us clarity because we turn it over. We got to stop turning over our peace. I can't sleep at night. I'm just having trouble. So, no. I'm not letting nothing take my shalom, my peace. I'm not surrendering over to any circumstance, any situation, any problem. God has covered me. And I'm praying that God would cover your mind. You know, I shared this. I didn't have time to share it earlier, but Matthew 10 in the 11th verse, he tells the disciple, he gives them instruction. He said, whatever city and town you enter and inquire who is worthy. He said, inquire who is worthy. Inquire who is worthy. Stay there till you go out. And when you go into a household, greet it. He said, if the household is, let your peace come upon it. Wait a minute. So there's a prerequisite before you even leave peace somewhere. If you ain't worthy, I ain't giving you this. Oh, y'all missing this? I mean, he says, I give you the ability to take peace and leave it places. Oh, y'all missed that. Y'all completely. He says, I'm giving the believer the authority to be able to operate as an ability to say, guess what? When you go somewhere, if they are deemed worthy, leave peace there. Leave a shalom there. Leave an ability that no matter what they're going through, because I stopped by, I leave peace in this house. Oh, Now, come on. Now, see that might be figurative for somebody, but let me make it real, because see, you have to. Let me teach you how to do this. I don't want to be all subjective in this. We have to understand something. We have, without question, an uncanny ability, if you use the power of the Holy Spirit, to come into a situation and it might be chaotic, and you are able to control it because God gives you wisdom on what to say. Now, if they're not found worthy, watch this, meaning they know it all. Oh, you ever been in some people's presence that know too much? And they never shut up. They got a big mouth, big mouth, big mouth, big mouth, big mouth, big mouth. Those 30 and under, you don't know where I'm at. But if you're a little bit older, mouth almighty. Come back. Somebody's like, I felt like somebody was going to be like, I felt somebody was going to do it on me. I just felt like somebody was going to break on me. I better calm back. And so you go there and you know who's worthy because they have an ability to listen and to hear. There are certain people, they're not worthy. Let me tell you something. Someone that's wrong that can't shut up, let them be wrong. That's good. I'm talking about peace. Look, you got to understand. You told them the right thing. They didn't want to listen. You go like this. I could tell you're not worthy. I'm going to take that peace. You keep thinking things are going to go bad. Now listen. Now y'all don't make fun of my son. I'm gonna share his little story. My son, he loves getting dressed in the morning. My son is a fashion. He's just my son. That's all I can say. However, y'all don't understand what goes on. He comes upstairs. Now me and my wife, we're not the best dressers in the world, but we got a little fashion thing going. We could do it. We could bring it. You know what I'm saying? We got a little something. Back in my day, I used to have penny loafers with dimes and quarters in them. You know what I'm saying? I used to have the penny loafers with the quarters. My mom did that to me because she said anytime you make a phone call, back when they had payphone, you just pull it out. I was always ready. What you know? I always had 2 quarters right there. In my penny loafers, I had quarters. So I know a little something. So every now and then, my son be like, he'll come up. Dad, what you think? No socks, what you think? So he's always doing this little thing. And I said the best thing I could say. Now, my wife will always tell him the truth. She'll always say it. But I have given up that I won't do it now. So he'll come up. Dad, what do you think? I said, you look horrible. You should go change. Really? He'd go down. He'd go back down, change his clothes. What do you think about this? That looks worse. My wife will be there. She'll go, Dale, stop it. Stop. You look good. You look really good, baby. You're the baby. Because he's looking for a piece about his outfit. And I'm like this. Your piece is. I said to him, I sat him down and I explained to him, I'm not going to be the one. You have a gift. You have my gift. I've given it to you all these years. I'm training you how to dress. You're okay. I'm going to tell you when you're off before you walk out that door. As long as you don't hide from me. Some of you people like to hide your outfit from you. Yeah. I ain't going to show them, and then you come out. Ooh. Some of y'all do that. No, we always looking at each other. We always sharing our outfit style abilities, you know. So I said to him, I need you to have confidence. I don't care what anyone says about what you put on. Know that you have it. I'm telling you, this is coming from me, your father. You have it. Whatever you put together, even if it looks mismatching, you can pull it off. That's what I teach them. This is what I'm teaching them. And I say, I don't care if mismatch, you just wear it with confidence. They're going to like it. I just get the walk. Because peace does not come from you, from the people. Peace don't come from praise of others. Peace comes from the inside of the Holy Spirit operating and working and churning on the inside. And when you have that kind of shalom, no one can disrupt you. No one can throw you off. Your job can't mess with you. Y'all don't understand. Your family can't mess with you. When you have the shalom of the Lord. Yes, sir. So now when he comes to me, he be like, how I look? Horrible. He goes, Dad, I can't. The peace got to be on the inside. Let me say this to somebody. Your peace has to be on the inside. Because watch this. When he came in, he had positioned himself to be the king. And watch this. He then says, I'm not just the king, I'm the king of kings. You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Watch this. He said, you're the king of kings. That means he's the king of those that he placed under him that's connected to him who become kings, who become queens, who become the authority in the earth. His position riding in gave you position of authority. He says, not only that, I give you the ability now to trample on serpents. Oh, no, y'all must not read your word. I give you the ability to call something that's not as if it is. I give you the ability to speak faith in a situation and it's going to manifest. I give you the ability to lay hands on the sick and they're going to recover. I give you the ability to shift and turn a situation around. No. He said, I done position myself to be the king of kings. I've given you authority. I've given you different ranking. Your ranking has changed when you accept Jesus. Yeah, I don't know if you understand that, but that means that now there's a word, the word status. The word status means the state of us. Come on, let me teach you for a moment. Watch this. When you understand status, that means this is not the world status, this is God's status. He says, the state of us. I've changed your status. I've changed the state of us. It was always meant status was based off of who you were in authority with and who you were connected to. When you're connected to the right thing, it shifts everything because it's the position of the individual in relationship to whatever it's connected to. Okay, all right, watch this. Let's go work with police departments. So watch this. So there are positions and rankings, but their status is based off of their rank. Their rank is given from above. Okay, okay. Someone says you're now moving up from regular officer to sergeant, from sergeant to lieutenant to captain. In that process, it always comes from above, never from below. Okay. All right, I'm going to say something. Pay attention. I need you to understand something very clear because some of us are getting tripped up off of people who are throwing rocks from below you. You have already reached a different status and they're trying to chuck stones up at you. I've never seen anyone throw a rock from above at me. No. They've always been low. They've positioned themselves lower the moment they started trying to criticize. Even if they had a ranking above me, they automatically demoted themselves by their operation. And because I serve a king of kings, my status shift. And when he shifted my status, now, even though someone may have, watch this, they might have a physical ranking above me, God says, I'll give you the ability to direct things. Oh, God's, watch this, is positioning believers in this next season that even if you're not on the top, you'll be able to direct the top. I'm watching this in my own life. I'm seeing it. I'm just a little peon in different places that I go. But somehow in my peon status, the mayor will call and say, hey, I need you. And then I'm in meetings with the mayor and even with my supervisor. And I'm sitting in the room with the mayor of the town and the supervisor over me. And they're looking to me and say, run this meeting. I'm saying, excuse me, guys, welcome and thank you for coming today. I have here today with me the mayor and my supervisor. And they both go, he's running the meeting. Y'all not catching it. Watch this, because when status shifts, when God uses you and you understand who you are. So now I'm in a meeting full of folk running a meeting that I should be the fourth or fifth, maybe sixth person even speaking in the room. But he says, that's not how I work when I place you in authority. I'm talking to somebody. When I'm placing you in authority, and you can humble yourself right, he said, I'll use your humility and elevate you. Oh, I gotta close. Because see, watch this. You don't even realize it, but God is giving you authority to walk in this next season and places that you did not get yourself, but a seed was already planted. And God said, I'm opening the door. I done rode in on this thing and gave you victory. Oh, I wish I could. I done opened the door for your next season, but you can't be afraid. This has to be a fearless entry. This has to be one that you say, you know what? I ain't gonna be afraid because all I got to fear was fear itself, and fear don't exist. Oh, I'm a faith walker. I'm a water walker. I walk by faith and not by sight. And the principle is that God is shifting my status and shifting me in this season. Let me close. I gotta close. Watch this. See, purpose, the last one is purpose that he found in this is purpose determines function. No, let me go a little further. Purpose determines functions when necessitates design. It's important because purpose produces design. Meaning when you understand your purpose, everything else designs around that function. Okay, watch this. I love driving cars. Yeah, with me today. Thank you, man. I just, you know my vet. He knows the vet. I love my car, and I really enjoy riding in it. And it was designed to go fast. When you step on the gas, the car lowers automatically, and then the ducts in the front take air into the engine and makes it breathe a little farther, a little faster, and you feel it, and it thrusts you back to the seat a little bit. And so because of its purpose, it determines its function. It's designed to go fast. Y'all missed it. So if you step on the gas too hard, it don't matter if you was making a mistake, an accident, your foot slipped onto the gas, it's going to go. Amen. Because purpose determines function. Watch this. So here's the thing. My daughter was saying she wanted to go to the prom, and she's like, Dad, the Corvette should be my mode of transportation. Y'all know I love my daughter. She's like, my daughter, my son, my family, they're just like right there, the edge of my heart. I was like this, I'm going. The first few times she said that, I've ignored her. But like I act like she didn't even say it, like. But I don't want her to start praying, because every time she prays, she changed my heart. So I said, I don't want her to pray. So I was like, I don't get. So we sitting there. I said, well, maybe we could figure a way to do this. I'll drive the car there, and we'll drive away where people don't see you, and you get in the car, and you could drive in like you drove it. Y'all with me? You sound like y'all with me. So, then she like, we'll like stop at like the CVS down the street or whatever. Be like, get in, I'm following you. Don't. And my wife goes, no, Dale, don't do it. Not because she didn't believe, she's like, she's never felt that type of power. y'all missed it. She said, don't do it. When she gets into that, she'll feel a different type of power. I don't want her to lose it. I said, honey, you might be right. I said, I don't know. Because purpose determines function, but it also causes for design. So I understand she got a heavy foot. Lord help me. So watch this. When you understand that, purpose also determines faith. So if I'm going to understand what God's trying to do in her, if I'm going to understand what God's trying to do, there has to be a degree of faith connected to our process. There's a whole bunch of conversations that have to go before that ride. But, somebody say but faith steps in. Let me bring this to your doorstep. when you understand your purpose, it will determine how much faith you can operate in. Those who understand their purpose, faith gets enlarged. We all have the same measure of faith, but it's fanned further by how many times you use it. Y'all missed it. Some people don't use their faith that much. You only use just your faith on little stuff. Lord, give me this parking spot. I felt somebody know what I'm talking about. Like, come on, Jesus. Park in the front, in the front, in the front. Oh, there it is. Look at him working. And somebody used that joint. I use my faith like Pastor said. And some of us got faith to say, you know what, God, I need a breakthrough. Yes. I need a financial breakthrough. God, I need a house. God, I need you to shift it. I need my children covered. God, I need my children saved. God, I need you to cover this. Change my children. My children haven't gotten there. My wife hasn't gotten there. My husband hasn't gotten there. But God, by faith, I've declared, because you wrote in, that every situation has the capability of changing, just me putting my faith to it. Purpose determines faith, and purpose determines favor. Favor is on every single life in this room. Favor is on your life. And you need to understand, just because you go through a situation, just because you go through a circumstance, doesn't mean favor has changed. And let me just say this, because some people, just because you mess up, God doesn't snatch favor right away from you. I don't know who that was for. That doesn't mean stay in your mess up. It just means that just because, and I know these men don't understand, just because you've messed up, it doesn't mean God snatches favor from you. He'll keep it hovering over you. And when you should have died, you didn't die. And when something should have happened, and that's the favor of God just keeping you and navigating you through circumstances seen and unseen. Come on, somebody. Yes. This Palm Sunday, if I could infuse anything into you, is that there is a fearless entry into your next season you have to do, because of what God already did for you. We sung songs. I don't know if you know all the songs that we sung was to point you towards a fearless operation. Every song was picked, designed to instill a level of thinking. And one of our members caught us in the side. She ran on. She says, "Oh wait, I forgot. I wrote the statement down. Wait, help me with the statement." She said, "We sing more lies than we can ever tell." She said, I was just like, because I ain't got it. And I think my wife said, no. We're speaking into where we're going. Sometimes you got to sing about it before you be about it. Did I change that statement for you? Sometimes you just got to sing about it till you get about it. And I'm like, I'm going to just keep singing it because this is where I want to be. And if you are making a decision today, say, you know what, I'm changing some stuff up, making some decisions today, that I'm not going to let people or the praise that they offer disturb my peace or move me out of position of my purpose. If that's you today, would you stand with me? I want to pray with you today.